It's 140 plus films, 50 countries. April 15th to 30th again, St. Anthony, Maine. The third year now at St. Anthony, Maine. We're looking forward. I think it's a very strong selection. We open April 15th, opening night with a World War II huge thriller from Norway, Max Manus, and the main character in the film, in which the film was based, a 91-year-old resistance hero from Europe, Gunnar Sundsteby, is going to be here to introduce the film. We have a fairly good sprinkling of films from the Middle East, 6 titles, of course. We did sharp a film on terrorism and Yemen involving the former taxi driver of Osama bin Laden. We're dealing with a lot of contemporary themes. As I said, terrorism, the status of globalization, status of women in Africa and the third world countries.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, too long.
Long.
Too long.
What are the changes you're seeing in an audience itself? Are we expanding?
Now we've moved to the St. Anthony, Maine. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of senior citizen housing around here, so we get a lot of seniors showing up before the afternoon shows. By the way, basically film a community event, a collective event with an audience. The people come to see the films. They're excited about the films. They want to talk about them. They stand in line waiting for tickets, and they meet friends they would never have seen otherwise from all parts of the 7-county area.
I know we talk about the criteria that you use to select all these movies. And any changes, anything you're looking for? Because I see a theme of terrorism, and I think that theme is overplayed.
Well, it's not terrorism per se. This is the perspective. I mean, how many films do you see from Yemen, from the taxi driver's point of view in the streets? These are not your TV 20-minute, 10-minute news bite stories. This is how it feels to be there, how it feels to have to work in the atmosphere of the background of Osama bin Laden's home country versus the American presence. We've got films from Afghanistan, which is the same issue, but told from the perspective of a young boy. This is from the perspective of a taxi driver, not...
In The Oath, the man, known as Abu Jandal, appears troubled. He is a taxi driver in Sana'a, Yemen's capital, and he struggles to make a living.
تفضلي. عند السفارة السعودية يمن مول. يمن مول عرفته. كم بتروحين؟ 250.
He obsesses about his brother-in-law, Salim Hamdan, who spent 7 years in the U.S. prison at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba.
بابا ثاني. عم سالم فين؟
في كوبا.
في كوبا؟ ايش قاعد يصير في كوبا؟
محبوس.
من حبسه؟ من حبسه؟ من حبسه؟
Family drama that walks us through the history of 9/11, of Guantanamo, of interrogation.
Hamdan was arrested in Afghanistan and was transferred to Guantanamo shortly after the September 11 attacks on the U.S. He remained there for 7 years.
إن الشهر هنا يمر كسنة وإنني أعاني من آلام في الظهر والقدم والهرش نتيجة العزل عن ضوء الشمس.
Poitras doesn't show Hamdan's face, but his letters to his family speak of his torment.
Guantanamo is a nightmare. It's a national nightmare. It's unimaginable to me that Guantanamo is entering into its 9th year. I mean, how is it possible that we're holding people outside the law?
What do you need at the end of that festival? What do you need to accomplish? What makes you happy at the end of this?
We have to pay our bills.
عاوز دقة يعني وبعدين عندنا مثلا بيقول كل واحد بياخد نصيبه خضر كده بقى
أنا اشتغلت في الزبالة دي أنا حوالي عندي 7 سنين.
طبعا كان لازم غصب عني أكمل.
بقول لك على حاجة،
أصل قعدت تتعلم على الشغل، ما اتعلمتش معاهم تتعلم
يلا لم الزبالة يا زبال. فحسيت إن أنا في نظر الناس قال مش حاسس إن بالأمان خالص.
لا في ربنا، لا يشتغل 24 ساعة، يشتغل في الزبالة، مش هيقدر يغطي نفسه برضه.
نفسي إن أنا كنت أسافر بره قبلها بكتير، أنا كنت قايل لهم هنا. مش معقولة الواحد يكون عمره كله في حاجة واحدة. عارف النجومية مسألة صعب. لازم تطلع درجة في درجة.
When I first learned about this community through the recycling school, I had went there in 2005 to volunteer at the recycling school, which is a community-run recycling school in the garbage village in Cairo. And the garbage village has the inhabitants of 60,000 people who are called the Zebeline, who go into Cairo and collect the garbage and bring it back to their neighborhood, and they recycle 80% of everything they collect. And I was just very amazed by the perseverance and the ingenuity of this community, and that's how I became drawn to making a movie.
Tell us a little bit, how did you see that dream?
Well, I chose the name Garbage Dreams because I felt that it was a good contrast. Nobody would think of dreaming about garbage or to see those hand in hands, but what I thought was so amazing about this community is here their livelihood is based on garbage, and yet they have such great aspirations about them, about what they can do with garbage and what they hope to come out of their livelihood. And what I thought was also very interesting is that each of the boys had their own dreams, but there are all some dreams that we can relate to here in the West or around the world. They're all dreams we all have, which I thought was what was so great about these kids.
She did the story very good, very well. She did, that is part of the society. It's ignored for a long, long time.
Made the official proud, hopefully, on international people to be aware of the situation in Egypt.
It's a very smart and sharp idea, and unconventional movie. It's not like a couple that love each other and want to get married in that. It's going deep in Egyptian society, and it's blunt.
Always hearing about waste and pollution, etc., over there, but they seem to be very inadvertently on the cutting edge of what needs to be done with garbage.
And I think that when I went into the film, to tell you the truth, I was a little bit anxious because I didn't want to look at a bunch of garbage. Just the idea of it was repulsive to me. So I guess if anything, if anyone were to tell any kind of little positive story about garbage, might be romanticizing it in my mind. But yeah, I know. I guess I didn't really think about that, but perhaps.
You could maybe make that,
argument.
Yes, for this film, just because you didn't really. Well, I mean, you saw a little bit of the depressing side, but I think she was trying to keep it somewhat upbeat. But I thought she showed some of the other side too,
and it was a little bit sad also, I think. I'm on camera. But yeah, I think it's a good movie for the American public, for them to be aware of what's going on in other countries, in poor countries.
It's a testament to the beauty of the human spirit. I just thought it was powerful and poignant. It was wonderful.
It was more about the actual lives of these three boys, right, and their family, and just their hopes and aspirations under these kind of circumstances, and the pride that they had in their job, because it was pretty much the only opportunity available to them.
That there are 4 Coptic billionaires in Egypt that you know, and the cops tend to be the wealthier class. But anyway, I was very glad to see this particular group of people. I must admit, I'm sort of a dumpster diver myself.